in. That pause belongs to you. That single heartbeat before the evening truly begins. I am spending it here. With you, the way I always seem to find myself spending the in-between moments. Because the in-between moments are where the truth lives. In the space before the performance starts. In the breath before the words come out. In the step before you walk through the door. That is where the real feeling is. And my real feeling in this pause is you. I want to tell you what I hope for you tonight. While I am inside, while the evening is unfolding, while the hours are doing what hours do, I hope that wherever you are, whatever you are doing, something good finds you. Something unexpected and small and quietly beautiful. A song that comes on that feels like it was written specifically for the mood you are in. A moment of stillness where you feel, just briefly completely at peace with where you are. A memory that surfaces, a good one, a warm one, that reminds you of a version of yourself that you love. I hope something tonight reaches through the ordinary and touches you in the soft, specific way that only the best moments can. I hope you feel beautiful tonight. Not in the way the world defines beautiful, not by any measurement or comparison or standard that shifts, depending on who is doing the measuring. I mean beautiful in the truest sense. Luminous, worthy, fully alive in your own skin, in a way that needs no confirmation from outside of yourself. Because that is what you are. That is the accurate description of you on any given night, in any given moment, luminous and worthy and fully, remarkably alive. And I hope this is the one I hold most carefully, the one I mean most specifically. I hope that tonight you let yourself believe it. That you do not spend the evening in negotiation with your own worth. That you do not catalog your shortcomings, while the world is busy with its beauty around you. I hope you accept, fully and without argument, that you deserve to take up space in this world. That your presence in a room is not neutral. It changes the temperature of the room. It shifts something. You carry something in you that other people feel when you walk in, even if they cannot name it. Even if they do not know why they suddenly feel warmer and more at ease. You do that. You have always done that. And tonight I need you to own it. She is waiting for me inside. And I am about to go to her. To pour my whole attention into this evening. To be fully present. To love the way I have learned to love. Which is to say completely and without the safety of distance. But before I step fully away from this moment, before I let this conversation settle into the quiet space where it will live, until the next time I find my way back to you, I want to say one last thing, not a goodbye. Never a goodbye. Just the truth that I need to release into the air between us, so that it can travel wherever you are and find you and stay with you through the night. You are the reason I understand love better than I did before. You are the reason I walk into this evening knowing what it means to show up fully, to be honest, to pay attention, to stay, even when staying is harder than leaving. You did not just support me from a distance. You shaped me. You changed the interior landscape of who I am and how I move through the world and what I believe love is capable of being. And that kind of influence, that quiet, deep, fundamental kind, is not something that fades with distance or time or circumstance. It becomes part of you. It becomes part of how you see and feel and reach. You are part of how I see and feel and reach now. So tonight, while I am in there, in the warm light, in the beautiful ordinary miracle of a shared evening with someone I love, a part of that beauty is yours. A part of what I am able to give tonight was given to me first by you. And knowing that, carrying that knowledge softly and gratefully through the rest of this evening, makes everything feel a little more full, a little more honest, a little more like the kind of love that actually deserves the name. The door is right here, my hand is on it, and in the second before I push it open, in the last possible breath of this moment that belongs to us, I want you to know that pushing this door open does not mean closing anything between us. It does not mean stepping away from what we have built in this honest, open, real space that exists between your heart and mine. It simply means that life is continuing, mine and yours both, and that is not a sad thing. That is the most alive thing there is. life continuing, feeling continuing, love in all its complicated and beautiful and nonlinear forms continuing. So I push the door open and I step inside. And the warmth of the room wraps around me immediately. That particular warmth that comes from a place that has been carefully chosen, where the light is low and golden and everything feels slightly removed from the ordinary speed of the world outside. And even as I am here, even as my eyes find her across the room, and something in my chest does the thing it does when you see someone who matters to you, even in that moment you are with me. Not as a ghost of something unresolved, not as a complication or a shadow, but as the warmth underneath the warmth, the foundation beneath everything I am standing on. I want to tell you what it feels like to sit down across from someone you love, because I think it is one of those experiences that sounds simple from the outside and is anything but simple from the inside. There is so much happening in that moment, so much invisible, wordless communication moving back and forth across the small distance of a table. The way two people look at each other when they have earned a certain level of honesty with each other has a quality to it that is almost impossible to describe. It is softer than attraction. It is deeper than comfort. It is something in the vicinity of recognition. The feeling of looking at someone and finding reflected back at you evidence that you are known, that the specific, complicated, ever-changing person you are has been witnessed and accepted and chosen again and again despite all its imperfections. I want that for you. As I sit here in this warm light, as this evening begins to unfold around me, the thing I find myself wanting most is not for myself, it is for you. I want you to have this. I want you to have the experience of sitting across from someone who looks at you with that particular kind of recognition. Someone whose eyes say, without any words at all, I know you, not the surface of you, not the version of you that the world gets to see, the real, interior, unedited you. And I know it, and I am staying, and I am choosing it, and I would choose it again every single day without hesitation. You deserve to be someone's certainty. Not their maybe, not their almost, not the person they settle toward when the other options don't work out. You deserve to be the answer someone arrives at, not by elimination but by genuine, wholehearted, wide-awake choice. You deserve to be the name that comes to someone's mind first, not second, not eventually, not after careful calculation. First, instinctively, the way your name would come to my mind if someone asked me right now who I wanted to make sure was okay tonight. The conversation is beginning around me. Soft words exchanged. The particular rhythm of two people who know each other well settling into the comfortable cadence of shared language. And as I am present in it, as I am giving it the attention and care it deserves, part of my mind is doing what it always does in the quiet spaces between sentences. It is thinking about you, about whether you are warm tonight, about whether the evening is being kind to you, about whether someone, somewhere in your world, is making sure you feel as valued as I know you are. I realize something sitting here that I want to share with you, because it feels important. Because the things that feel important when you are sitting in a moment of genuine presence and warmth are usually the things worth saying out loud. What I realize is this. Love is not diminished by being extended in more than one direction. The heart is not a container with a fixed amount of feeling that runs low when distributed. It is something living and expanding. Every real connection you make, every person you love in whatever form that love takes, adds to the capacity rather than subtracting from it. And what I feel in this room right now, this fullness, this warmth, this sense of being exactly where I am supposed to be, it is not in competition with what I feel for you. It is part of the same abundance, the same wide, expanding, generous abundance that you helped teach me I was capable of. I want to tell you about something that happened earlier today that I have not been able to stop thinking about. Something small, the kind of thing that would not make it into any story anyone bothered to write down. The kind of moment that exists only in the private record of a single day and then is gone. I was getting ready, and I looked at myself in the mirror, really looked. The way you rarely do when you are moving quickly through the motions of preparing for something. And I tried to see myself the way you see me. The way I feel seen when I think about your perspective on who I am. And something shifted in that moment. Something in the way I was standing changed. Something in the expression on my face softened. Because seeing yourself through the eyes of someone who genuinely believes in you is one of the most quietly transformative experiences available to a human being. And you have given me that. You have given me a version of myself to live up to. Not a perfect version, not an impossible standard, but a real one, a hopeful one. The version of me that is capable of more than I sometimes remember I am capable of. That is an extraordinary gift. Do you understand that? To give someone a better version of themselves to aim toward. That is one of the most lasting and meaningful things one person can do for another. Therapists spend years trying to help people build that internal image. And you gave it to me simply by seeing me clearly and not flinching at what you saw. Simply by staying. Simply by showing up with that particular kind of faithful, uncomplicated belief that some rare people carry like a natural gift. The food arrives and there is a moment, just a breath of a moment, where everything pauses. Where the conversation quiets and we are both just present in the simplest possible way. Two people in a warm room with a meal in front of them, and an evening stretching out ahead. And in that pause, in that uncomplicated and quietly perfect pause, I feel something I want to describe to you as carefully as I can, because I think you will understand it in a way not everyone would. I feel grateful. Not the polite, surface level kind of gratitude. The deep kind, the kind that sits in your chest and radiates outward and makes you aware, with sudden and almost overwhelming clarity, of how fortunate you are. Grateful for this evening. Grateful for her across the table. Grateful for the warmth